Hello everyone and welcome to In the Grove. I'm Sue Heaton and both Jeff and I will be here today to introduce our guests. We have two very interesting ladies with us today. First, we will have Edith Vasquez. She's from our finance department here in the village. And then I will be speaking with Nancy Broten-Munsen, and she's from the library to tell you about a very fun event coming up in April. So lots to share with you. We hope you will join us. We will be right back with the program.
Welcome back. Today my guest is Lily Vasquez, who's the Assistant Finance Director for Elk Grove Village. Welcome, Lily.
Welcome.
You're here today to talk about our new utility bill that's gone out to all the residents.
Yes, very exciting news.
Let's start with, it's obviously for our water bill, but what did we do to change that around to make it easier for the residents?
So we did a lot of changes. If you compare this to our old water utility bill, you'll see that now it's more colorful, we've got more information, there's different layouts, we've got a lot of detail in there for our residents because we want to make sure that they're well informed and we're being very transparent of their consumption and their charges.
And one thing I noticed, which I really like, is it shows the history of your water usage for a year. So you kind of know when you're using more, like say in the summer, maybe if you're outside watering or things like that, or at least it keeps if there's a problem with your water, maybe there's a leak or something, you know it right away when you see it at the next time. It's hard to do it when you just say gallons, I guess, and that. So how do we make it easier? What are some of the points?
So some of the good things that we did in general was add the consumption history, like you said, and we really like this feature because it's easy to go back and forget that we do bill out in 2-month increments. So I know when people get their bill, they're like, well, I didn't use this water, and we have to remind them that it was for 2 months ago, and when we're getting a bill in October, it was really for our August usage, and that's when you were flowering your plants, you were getting all those beautiful flowers out, you're picking out those delicious tomatoes and cucumbers that you're putting in your salads and enjoying. And that's why it's nice now to be able to have that visual tool on it so everybody can see, oh yeah, I tend to spike up in August, September, October because we had a pool or we have a sprinkler or the grandkids came over, the kids came over, kids come home from college, and it's easy to see the difference between when it's just empty nest or just 2 snowbirds. They have that visual reminder.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited about that because I used to try to guess myself, why did we go up some of them and realize that, everybody's washing their cars, you're watering the lawn, and just like you said, the gardens and stuff you don't realize. And I think, people would call and ask questions about it. Now they have it in front of them.
Yes.
Now also, well, it's got the reading in there, but did the payment plans change, or what do residents need to do if they were signed up for automatic payments or paying online? Do they have to change anything around?
So our auto pay customers were the easiest, luckiest ones. They didn't have to do anything. We did all the grunt work for them. Okay. That just transitioned easily with the new financial software, which is why we had the opportunity to upgrade the utility bill look. Residents can still pay online on our website through credit card, no fees. We absorb them all. It's a convenience factor that we offer to our residents. We understand everybody's very busy, and sometimes you forget, or you're like, oh, I gotta pay it before the 20th. So we want to make sure that it's easily accessible. So we do the online. We do still have the front counter available. If anybody does want to come by and visit us, we're available. We do the night drop feature, which is right before you get up to the stairs of Village Hall. Over on the left-hand side, it's a secure night drop. You can only fit maybe your fingers if you try really hard, and then you just drop it off and we process it within the next business day.
Okay, so there's many options that people, I've actually decided to bring my bill because I've mailed, there's a new P.O. box
Correct.
for, it goes to Chicago now instead of Carroll Stream. But first time I ever mailed it, it was lost for, I don't know, 2 weeks.
Yes.
So I keep an eye on that. I made sure I came in, and sure enough, the day I came and paid the bill, it got sent through, so I double paid. But that's why I like coming into the Village Hall. And you, like you said, you have the option of the drop box outside. That 24 hours you can do it. You can come up to the front desk there and pay it, or else pay it with. Now with the credit card, we charge no fees at all.
No fees. We absorb them all.
Okay, and is that online, or do we have a phone line too that they can call?
We do not do the online
Okay.
payments. The security feature that allows us to process payments does not allow us to do it. It's just an added barrier with all the online cybersecurity fraud that we want to make sure that when you come up, you're using Trustee Frankie's credit card and not Joe Schmo from somebody else. So it's an extra layer of protection that we'd like to offer our residents.
Well, and I'm sure that's what people may be worried about, that they don't want their credit card information. I mean, nowadays everything's out there.
Yes.
So what is the main reason that the finance department decided to change? Is this does this work better for you guys too? When this type of billing, is the software better, or I mean, what makes it easier besides for the residents?
So back in 2015, the village started to get a new village-wide software. Then October of 2018, we implemented the last module, which is language for us, which means it was the utility billing software program. So that actually came with a whole new onset of opportunities of bringing up a new water bill look, processing payments. In the future, we are looking now to do a customer service portal that will be available so that people can select the option to email their bill. I know there's some talk out there that people don't want to receive the paper utility bill anymore, which is fine. You know, we want to get with the times of all of our residents. We have a vast diversity of residents, and so we're working on getting the feature of email bills. We're going to be able to have customers, residents, sign on and they can look at their details, say they lost it, the dog ate it, it got recycled. They can view an online version so they can be able to see it, and they'll be able to pay online as well.
And will they be able to look at past bills and
Yes.
that? See, yeah, it's
Everything
kind of
will
like
be
what you
captured.
can do with a credit card.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can look at past statements and that to kind of even go back farther.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We probably won't be downloading old bills on there, would we? It'll start when we start, and then, I mean, you won't be able to go back to 2017, will you? And look
No,
at
so the first one available would be your October 2018 bill.
Okay.
But we made sure that we captured at least a year to 2 years worth of
Okay.
history. So if you went
from
back
this point.
in October of 2019, you'll be able to see your consumption that went all the way back.
Okay. Well, I'm telling you, I'm glad this came through. It's a lot easier to read now, and I think it answers a lot of questions that people have been calling and asking, because it was a little confusing. Like you said, even it says how many days
Yes.
it's for. They still.
So now we went very detailed. We give you the billing number of days, the service time, so you know when we're going out there to read. We've got detailed charges and explanations in here. So if you're a brand new tenant into the village, there's a $50 deposit. It shows up right here, so you know that your first bill was $50, and it says why. Whereas before, people were calling, they're like, I just moved in, how did I use any water? Well, it wasn't for the water, it was for the deposit. And now we added that. Amongst that, we've got a nice explanation of charges going, so you can see if you had any previous balance. I know some of our residents like to overpay, so they can show if they have a previous balance, plus their new activity, any past due amounts, their total, and then if somebody's late, there is the late fee in there. One of the new features that we did add was this little information bulletin board, which is where we're going to be announcing different activities village-wide.
Okay.
Right now, it's very important for our residents to update their account number, because with the new system, we did get new customer accounts and new account numbers, which is very, very important. We want to make sure that we're applying your payment to your account and not somebody else's.
Well, now let me ask, because the question pops in my head of me, somebody else. Okay, update my account, but I have an account number on this bill.
That's the one you want to use.
Okay, so what? But you have it under my name.
Mm-hmm.
So what would I have to do to update?
So when you're writing your check, just make sure you reference the customer dash account number
Okay.
that's listed. If you're paying online, you want to make sure that you take out the old saved feature, add the new one in so that the new one goes in. It's just customer dash account number.
Gotcha. So you're not updating the villages, you're updating your payment
Correct.
parts on that. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure everybody out there
Wants to make sure they get their payment applied, and I completely
I
understand.
I don't, I don't like paying bills as it is. I don't want to pay somebody else's. So,
Yeah.
I just noticed on there, and I may be missing it, but we used to have a donation for fireworks.
We still do. It's right down here.
Ah, okay.
In
It's
our
in bigger print.
Bigger print, yeah, so we can donate and have our awesome fireworks show that we have every year. You can donate, put your donation amount, and then just cross this off and put your little total in there. And then the other important feature is our customers that are on ACH or AutoPay. It does say it down here, bank draft do not pay. I might be revising this just so it stands out a little bit more.
Okay.
So.
But even when they pay online, they could add money.
Mm-hmm.
I know we get not a lot of money, but people do donate
do.
for the fire. They can still do that
They
online.
can still donate to our fireworks, yes, absolutely. We encourage it.
Okay, well, obviously it's something new. If a resident has a question, who do they talk to?
They can call our utility billing staff at 847-357-4060 or 847-357-4061. And our information is located on the bill on the top or the bottom, whether they want to look for it. On the back of the bill, there's a lot of useful information as well. We've got our hours of operation, and it says the different forms of payment so they can mail it. We do include a self-addressed envelope if people want to mail it to our lockbox. And what our lockbox is our bank, and they're processing it for us, scanning it in and sending us a secure file with everybody's payments. They can still obviously send it to us directly. They can come and visit us directly, or they can drop it off at the night drop box that we talked about, and they can obviously pay online. We encourage that because, like I said, people like to get those miles or those cashback points, so we encourage that. I think that's great that your bills get a reward.
As long as you pay them off and don't, carry that balance, get those points while you can.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a lot of good information too about the outdoor watering regulations,
Mm-hmm.
about when we do it in the summer, and just about different billing cycles. And
Yeah, if any billing inquiries, we have our information. If people are moving either within town or leaving, give us a call. We'll set up an appointment. We'll ease that transaction for you. We don't want to lose any of our residents, but I know sometimes we have to see them go.
Well, it happens, and I know if you move, you have to have a final billing read.
Correct.
Just went through that. You got to make sure you do it like the last day, and
Mm-hmm.
so because you have to get all your transfer stamps and everything else. So maybe that might be some kind of information to put on the the information part of it
Yes.
at some point.
I
Just
definitely
different
have that.
things, just anything to make it easier for the resident.
Anything. And we're open to suggestions. If somebody wants to come on by, talk to us, and we're open for suggestions. We want to make it as best and easy for our customers to read and understand.
Fantastic. Is there anything else you wanted to cover? Or?
No, I just wanted to emphasize that you update your customer account number.
Yes, on any of your bank's
Yep.
information, make sure you have the right number so
That's
you
the
get credit.
biggest thing we want to make sure.
Well, let's hopefully think that somebody will take care of that. So,
Yeah.
well, I thank you again for coming by. Hopefully
you.
this helps a lot of residents understand the new bill. I think it's a great idea, and there's so much more information on it. So very good job.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks again.
Thank you, Trustee.
We'll be right back after this.
Welcome back to the program, everyone. Very happy to introduce you to our next guest. This is Nancy Broten-Munsen. Nancy Broten-Munsen. Very happy to have you with us today, Nancy.
you.
And you come to us today to talk about the Makers Program.
Right, Maker Day at Elk Grove Village Public Library, which takes place just coming up on Sunday, April 7th, all afternoon on that day.
And now, is this an annual event? It's been
It
in
is.
the village before?
This will be our third event. So we skipped last year due to some renovation projects at the library, but we've had two previous, and this will be our third, and we're really excited about it. It's a great library-wide, all ages event that you could call kind of part STEM Fest, part it's featuring crafters and makers of all kinds from arts and crafts.
Anytime there's a craft fair, I'm there. Let's get some history. Whose idea was this one? How did it originate?
Well, our Maker Day is sort of fashioned after a Maker Fair, which is part of the Maker movement, which is over 15 years old. People have always been making things, obviously, from arts and crafts to technology to designing and innovating. But
So this is nationwide, a maker movement?
right, and really actually worldwide.
I see, worldwide.
So-
And someone at the library caught word of it and thought we should bring this to Elk Grove.
Right, so maker fairs happen out throughout the country and throughout the world. The big one is in San Francisco every year, which is a huge event with all kinds of things. And from that, other maker fairs started up throughout the country, and we are fashioned after that. We're not an official maker fair. We decided to go with Maker Day.
So do people with franchises come to show what they've invented?
Not so much. I'm not aware of whether it's franchises or not, but the whole maker movement is about just people having creative ideas and innovators
creativity.
and designers.
And they
and
come there
thinkers.
to get maybe their first display?
Right, it's really, the maker movement's really about interaction, about learning from each other, sharing ideas, teaching each other, using shared tools. So the idea is to they call the Maker Fair in California the world's biggest show and tell.
It's held at a bigger venue than, say, the size of our library.
Oh yeah,
It's huge.
The Maker Fair, the flagship one in California is huge. But we are a pretty good smaller representation, I think, of that.
What have you seen come out of the first event that you held?
Well, that was a really good event. That was, we had a lot of variety of different makers there. Like I said, from arts and crafts to people who do robotics and different kind of technological innovations.
And so connections were made with the different people who came to show.
Sure, yeah, it's a great way for people to come and talk face to face with makers and find out why do you do this? What tools do you use? How did you get started?
What were some of the answers to why do you do this? Do you remember any?
Well, I think it's just we're all creative people,
And they just
in
want
whatever way,
somewhere to show.
right? And
what they-
it comes out in different ways, and so this was an opportunity for people to come in and find out, just to experience close up, see things in progress. It's not Maker Day isn't intended just to be just something to look at. We like to try to have opportunities for people to try things themselves. So as often as possible, our makers offer hands-on activities or a
So is
chance
this
to
different
see.
than our high school craft fair, for example? Can we go and purchase?
No, it's not a selling event.
Oh, I see.
It's a great way you might find a maker who you're really interested in buying their products or their items for sale, but it's not. Then you could contact them at a later date.
I see.
So it's really not. The whole nature of it is meant to be a learning experience.
Well, that ties in well with the library. That's why we go to our library to learn.
Exactly. Yeah, it's we will have Mr. Freeze will be here from Mr. Freeze from
I thought you said
Fermilab.
Freeze. Oh,
He has a cryogenics show that he does. So
well, I
we
bet
get
he
into
has a
kinda-
lot of attention at his table.
Yeah, he'll have a whole room. So he will be putting on a presentation on at 2:15.
Will things be exploding?
Kind of,
Yeah,
yes.
really?
Yeah. He used our quiet study room last year, and we packed that room
I bet.
with people, and it was a great show of, and it kind of makes a mess. He has to have people sit back away, so, but it's a lot of fun to watch. So we get into the science area too, science
sure.
and technology and arts and crafts and everything.
I imagine some teachers just might show up at the displays to be sure. Now, do you, is the library still open for the public to use while this is going on, or do you close the library down and it's just for this event?
Well, it is pretty much Maker Day at the library. It's open to the public, so people can come in and go about their business as usual, but it's not going to be a typical day at the library. Our Maker Day is kind of, from the first event, it's grown a lot. So we've kind of expanded into the full area of the library.
The whole library for it.
So we're using, we do reserve a couple areas for people to be studying, but people who want to come for peace and quiet.
They may not find it that day.
Might not find it that day, but we encourage everybody to come and check it out.
And maybe people who didn't know about the event that are just going there to check out books, they might find that they're staying longer because it's so interesting to see what's going on.
Yeah. We do try to give people a couple weeks heads up notice that this is going to be happening for those who are our regular studiers who come every Sunday afternoon for some peace and quiet and to study. So everybody kind of hopefully will know in advance, but we also hope people stumble in to return books and find something cool, because I think everybody will find something interesting or neat or cool, or even maybe life-changing, because it's, you might see something at Maker Day that it inspires you to try something new, or learn
create new makers.
Learn how to do something new. That's kind
especially
of
if you can stimulate the minds of the young people.
Exactly.
To go with that. So what is this Makers Lab? Is this?
Yeah. So it's a maker space. Our maker space is called Elk Lab, and so out of the maker movement across the country, throughout the world, maker spaces have popped up as places that offer tools and expertise, and a place. It's maker movement's not just like do it yourself movement, it's like do it together movement. So cool. It's a way to come together in a place where you have access to tools that you might not otherwise have access to. Also have access to experts. So our maker space at the library, which is now just recently opened, it's been in the planning stages for years, and it's finally open. Our makerspace has a makerspace coordinator who's Rob Dumas, and he will be there at Maker Day. You can come and meet Rob and explore the new space called, did I say it's called Elk Lab? It's called Elk Lab.
Wonderful.
And it has 3D printer, it has a milling machine, it has vinyl cutters, sewing machines, and other.
I have one of those tucked away in my closet. They still use.
Right.
Yeah, wonderful.
Then,
if someone is just seeing this for the first time, just becoming aware, and they say, "Oh, I've got something," is it too late to contact for this year, but they could maybe for the following?
No, we're still happy to. We can still accept applications for that, or just give me a call. Your application can be calling me and saying, "Hey, I make this, I do this. I would like to show it off." Space is limited, but we can find ways to. We have room for more people, and the goal is as much variety as possible.
Sure.
So, actually, I'm still looking for a crochet person. I'm still looking for a quilter.
Oh, wait a minute! I've done some of that. I have some homemade. Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. So, and those were just the two that came to mind. So, as much variety as we can show. If people want to come and show, these are the tools I use. This is the process I follow, and if you can give people a chance to, take a few stitches too, or try cutting something or whatever, there's different that's great too. Anything to inspire people to try something themselves.
Because I remember, speaking of sewing, I learned that when I was back in school, but we had something called home economics. I don't even know if they have that over at the high schools anymore. But maybe those opportunities to learn those kinds of skills are just not there, and Maker's Day gives the opportunity
Yeah.
to show and learn.
Yeah, I know some of our good partners in the Maker Day is actually the high school. They do amazing things there. They have all kinds of makers in progress over at the high school. So we for our last 2 years have had a good variety from there too, to show off some of the things that they make.
Let's review. The day of the Maker's Day is in April.
It's Sunday, April 7th.
And the hours?
It's from 1 to 4:30. And it is a free event.
Yeah, I was going to say there's no cost to come by.
Right.
And it sounds like, just really a day of fun and learning. And we were talking before we began taping how wonderful our library here in Elk Grove Village is, that I actually know of a friend that it was the library that was the deciding factor in her moving into Elk Grove Village. Isn't that awesome? It is a great library. We need to bring more awareness to that gift that's in the center of our town.
Right.
Yeah.
If anybody who lives in Elk Grove Village, if you don't have a library card, come and get one, because even if you don't come to the library to check out materials, you can use materials online.
Yeah.
Check out materials with your library card through our website. So.
I admit I don't go that often, but when I do, I kind of get lost over there because there are so many materials to look at. And it is nice just to kind of get away from some of the noise and find a quiet space.
Right.
To focus and to learn.
Well, it's definitely a good community gathering spot too.
Sure.
So you'll find your quiet spaces, and you'll find a place to
you
meet
have
with
those
your group
tables in the front where we can meet. Yeah. Well, thank you for the work that you do over at our library. Thank you for bringing us this information. It sounds like it will be a very exciting day, and I hope that it's you have a very big turnout.
Thank you.
And as you continue to do this year after year.
Right, yes.
And congratulations to all those that have these wonderful ideas, these creative minds. We're happy that they're here in our village and they bring them to show.
Yep. Yeah, thanks. It'll be a good day and a lot of fun, so I hope everybody can come.
Thanks for being with us today, Nancy.
Thank you very much, Sue.
And we will be right back with the rest of our program. Thanks to our guests, both Edith and Nancy, for bringing their information to us today. Be sure, living here in the village, you check our new billing system here for your water bills. You can still walk them in if you choose to, or if you're on auto pay, check into that as well. But keep an eye to the mail. We do have a new system in place, and we thank Edith for bringing us that information. And then certainly to Nancy to tell us about the Maker's Day Fair coming up April 7th. Over at our library. Sounds like it'll be lots of fun. Bring the whole family. I'm sure it'll be a fun-filled day and lots to learn over there. So thanks to our guests and thanks to you, our viewers, for being with Jeff and me here once again on In the Grove.